This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of June 17th, 2022, brought to you by That's Good HR. I'm Wes Mills. A recent report from the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission on the economic impact of the 2022 NBA All-Star Game seems to bode well for Indianapolis when it hosts the game in 2024. The organization says the high-profile event had a total economic impact of nearly $250 million, including $141 million in direct spending.
Those were astounding numbers coming out of Cleveland, especially considering we were really coming out of COVID at that point,
said Pacers Sports and Entertainment President and Chief Operating Officer Mel Raines on Inside Indiana Business TV.
We are more excited than ever to host in 2024 when we saw those numbers and we saw the impact, especially the global impact.
The Cleveland study reveals the city hosted 121,000 visitors for the event, representing 45 states and 20 countries. Indianapolis was originally scheduled to host the event in February 2021, but the lingering effects of the global pandemic forced organizers to postpone. Plainfield-based MD Logistics has announced plans to open its first warehouse in the Research Triangle Park in North Carolina. The third-party logistics firm says the expansion will allow it to better serve the life sciences and pharmaceutical industry on the East Coast. The 240,000-square-foot facility will be built near Raleigh, that is home to more than 600 life sciences companies. Indiana's life science sector is thriving, according to a new report from Ohio-based Techonomy Partners. The study shows Indiana's healthcare and life sciences industry has a $150 billion annual economic impact for the state. The study examined how the sector benefits other industries, such as manufacturing, technology, and retail. The report says the healthcare and life sciences sector directly employs 1 in every 10 jobs in the state, or more than 383,000 people. Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand is brought to you by That's Good HR.
With one call to That's Good HR, your hiring challenge is solved. It's that simple. That's Good HR is the secret ingredient to strategic staffing. Have an HR, accounting, administrative, or customer service position to fill? Trust That's Good HR to make a match that's good for everyone, whether temp to hire, or a direct hire placement. For 22 years, That's Good HR has been handpicking employees and employers through a highly personal and authentic approach that delivers long-term results. Visit that'sgoodhr.com. Remember, the match matters.
This is Gary Dick. Each week, Inside Indiana Business Television brings you the people, places, and policies that shape the Indiana economy. Exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. Be connected with the full hour of Inside Indiana Business Sunday mornings at 10 on the IIB YouTube channel, or check local listings for the show in your area.
Sweden-based aerospace manufacturer Saab has shipped the last of 5 T-7A Red Hawk aft fuselages from its factory in Sweden to Boeing's production site in St. Louis. Production of the fuselage will now be transferred to Saab's facility in West Lafayette. The first units are expected to come off the assembly floor in 2023. The T-7A Red Hawk is an all-new advanced pilot training system designed for the U.S. Air Force to train the next generation of combat pilots. The Indiana-produced aft with its fully installed systems will then get shipped to the Boeing plant in Missouri. A California-based bioenergy company is continuing plans to build a $600 million waste-to-fuel plant in Gary. Our partners at the Times of Northwest Indiana report Fulcrum Bioenergy is in the midst of engineering design work for the facility, which is expected to be complete by the end of the year. The process involves converting municipal waste into feedstock and then refining it into jet fuel. Fulcrum first announced plans for the facility in 2018, but it's been delayed by the pandemic. The original plan called for the creation of up to 163 jobs, though the Times reports that number has been reduced to about 130. Indiana Landmarks hopes a buyer steps up to purchase a 19th century home in Huntingburg, sparing the house from demolition. The city acquired the property on the city's main street late last year with plans to raise the house and expand parking for downtown businesses. Demolition plans are now on hold as the city seeks proposals to rehab the property. The preservation nonprofit says under the current clapboard and aluminum siding, the house's original first story is solid brick with a dormered second story added sometime in the 1930s. Renovation proposals for the property are due by the end of July. This report is brought to you by That's Good HR, the secret ingredient to strategic staffing. Visit that'sgoodhr.com for more information. I'm Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.